And you say tablets, they're all likely to be tablets in the future, do you think? Or infusions?
I suspect they won't be initially.
Yeah.
Because it's harder.
Is it?
Well, all of these treatments need to get into the brain.
Yeah.
Whereas the anti-inflammatory ones don't. They need to get on the white blood cells that are circulating around the bloodstream.
Yeah.
And in many ways we don't want them to get into the brain. We need to stop them getting into the brain. So they should be easier orally. But to get into the brain's quite a special bit. It's got this thing called the blood-brain barrier, which tries to stop things getting into the brain.
Yeah.
And that also stops drugs getting into the brain. And so it's a little bit more tricky. So the one that's trialled at the moment, the anti-LINGO-1 antibodies, are an infusion, and they go round the blood, but they're hoping enough of that will get into the brain to have an effect.
Yeah.
But I think it's unlikely that the orals will be there, the tablets will be there initially.
Yeah.
You know, some things travel across to the brain very easily, but it's an added complication.
Yeah.
Is to try and get them into the brain. And clearly people don't want to be injecting things into the brain if we can avoid it. So it's, but an infusion or an injection is a compromise between a tablet.
And you were talking about existing treatments out there, sort of for blood pressure or what have you. Are they in tablet form?
Yes, they are. You're absolutely right. So the smart trial ones are all tablets.
Yeah.
And it's a very pragmatic trial. It's using tablets that we've already got, that we know the safety value of, and to see whether it actually has an effect.
Yeah.
So they are. And some things that you take by mouth will get straight into the brain. But you have to make sure your molecules are right. Chemists are good at trying to work out what will and what won't.
Yeah.
But again, that needs to be tested. So we give it to animals and say, can you get it into the brain?
Yeah.
And ultimately also with people we can.
Yeah.
So that takes time. But
interesting.